So today is an exciting day because my keyboard will arrive at some point. I don't know when, but it will come. Holy lag. Holy lag. What the hell? Yeah, anyway, so that's coming, which is exciting. I moved upstairs. So right now I'm on like a dressing table. Let's see if I can just show this. Right now I'm on a dressing table. As you can see, I've got like a mirror there, and there's my monitor, and the computer, and there's not the most desk space, right? So I got my microphone there, and my laptop's like pushed up against the back, more or less. But the good thing is that my keyboard arrives today, which would be really good because right now I have to use this keyboard, but once I have my other keyboard, like the actual keyboard, I can just have my keyboard here, and then like my microphone could be like, I don't know, like maybe, I mean, it's not that wide, so like it could be here even, but like basically it would take less space here, right? And then my laptop could be like up there on like a laptop stand. So then I have two monitors, essentially. So yeah, exciting. But anyway, also my aunt comes back today at like 2 p.m. It's currently 11 a.m. So that gives me 3 hours. So I'll see how much progress I can make. And the reason I bring it up is, I don't know, they land at 2 p.m. So they'll be back at like 3 probably. But the reason I bring it up is because I've been in this house alone for the past like week or more. And I don't know how I'll be able to record videos necessarily once she's back. Just like because having people in the house makes it harder to record videos because I may be intruded upon. So we'll see about that. But anyway, either way, the programming will continue. Also, I'm still waiting to hear about my job. I do have it as far as I'm aware, but the thing is I don't have the contract yet. I haven't offered the contract yet because they're still doing checks and stuff on like my stuff. So we'll see how that turns out. I don't know why I'm lagging so much. Yeah, like I'm really lagging. Let me just remove the second monitor because I'm not going to record it anyway. I don't know if that makes things like less laggy, but yeah, whatever. Right. So working on FreeWare, my video game. I just watched. I just had a look at Osaka OS, which is by someone who I forget the name of. But yeah, he's working like an operating system, which is really cool. And I looked at the source code and I was surprised it was actually in C++, not C. And I was like, damn. And like the kernel code, and it actually doesn't look that I don't know how complicated it is, but like there isn't actually that much code, it seems, which is surprising. Because like an OS seems like a huge undertaking, but maybe if you make like a simple OS to start with, maybe it's not as unapproachable as it seems. So maybe as one day I could try something like that. I mean, obviously it'd be horribly inefficient, but just like to learn a bit more about operating systems by getting some hands-on experience. And then maybe, who knows, I could contribute to the Linux kernel. I know that they don't accept C++, but they do accept Rust code. So I could write stuff in Rust. There's an opportunity there. But anyway, so FreeWare. Now, as mentioned in the last video, first let me just show you what there is so far. Right, there's this. That's it. We've got texture rendering going. Sorry, I'm not going to show my screen. We've got texture rendering going. Oh, I'm almost on the wrong screen, it seems. Maybe that's why it's laggy. There you go. Right, so this is what I got working last time, which was the texture rendering, right? So the background is rendered as a texture, and you have this as well, which are textures applied to SDL rectangle things, and the actual game loop is self-contained in this game TPP. So I have a separation between the engine and the actual game, which you can see here. And yeah, I mean, right now there's not much to the game, but you can get all of this going with very little code, essentially, because, you know, like all the behind the scenes stuff is abstracted away. So I load my texture for the Vim icon, then I load the background here. That all of that is just all the background code, and then I create my 5 apps which take the Vim textures, right? And then I've got this just for calculations, and that's just the start loop. What the fuck happened? Okay, my LSP's funky. And then the update loop itself is also very short because all it does is cycle through the apps and just make them, you know, float up and down. And like honestly, like even just a lot of this code is just error handling as well. Like this here is error handling, and then these as well. It'd be nice if, you know, I could just do create texture question mark or something, or create texture and then I guess question mark here, like you can in Rust. That would just help like reduce things massively. It's a shame. I also want to add builder patterns for this stuff, because like right now you can see I have background transform, and then I manually add the size here, .size.position, and that's because like the way I would like to write this code. Let me just isolate it real quick. The way that I would like to write this code ideally would just be like this, where I have the function, and then I just, in the function arguments, you know, I just have this code here instead. So that I can just do .size equals that, .position equals that, or size and position as arguments, right? Like this would be ideal. But I can't do that because named arguments are not a thing in C++, nor are they in Rust. So the alternative to not having named arguments, very annoying, is either this or the builder pattern. And the builder pattern would just be remove the semicolon here, and instead just have dots as a function with like size, right? And then you have like that, and just pass that in there, and then dot with position as well. So that's what I'm going to do now, just to start off. So to do that, I need to component gives you, I believe that returns the actual rect transform itself. Let me just check that. I can grep. Actually, I think I should be able to jump to definition. Attempt to call method range. Yeah, what is this? I keep getting this error for like range, and I don't understand why I get it. So let me first debug that, because like that's causing me issues for a lot of things. Why do I keep getting this range error? It's a tree sitter bug. Main branch. If unstable, you have use the master legacy branch. What happens like all the time? I think the buffer it triggered in just now was this one, right? I think it was Markdown. I believe it was Markdown. Yeah, so that's why. Because when I do Shift K, it tries to show it. It's annoying. How do I jump to definition? Jump definition. I don't know. Vim, NeoVim, jump to definition keybind. What? Is that it? That's weird. I can add a keybind myself, but anyway, so it's control this. Okay, that's handy. Yeah, so it's the markdown that's not working. It's annoying, but whatever. So anyway, add components, control this thing. Yeah, so it returns a T component reference. So if we go control O to go back, that means I need to add it to rect transform specifically and text renderer. So we'll go to rect transform, and we have these, and we're going to create two functions. Yeah, I mean it's just weird making a builder pattern. Like I don't like it. Like I really don't, but because like it is verbose. I mean, like it's redundant code, and like it really shouldn't have to be a thing, because the language should just support named arguments instead. But whatever, it is what it is. So we have to do auto, because it will return a reference to itself. So it'll be with position, and then it will take a could do a vec, I guess, just to keep it simple, like that. With position, yeah, position. Yeah, and returns a rect transform reference, and we'll define it in an external file, vec2, and then likewise with size. Right, and then we're going to take these and create a new file for rect transform. So rect transform.cpp, because that's how C++ has to be, unfortunately. We're going to include rect transform.hpp, right, and prefix these both with rect transform. Auto line declaration, yeah, gotta give it a body. And yeah, basically just position equals position. Like that's literally all it is. So very, very simple, but very redundant and very annoying. And the reason I put it in an external file is because I don't want it to be, well, first of all, inlining. I'm not sure how that works. I probably need to double check that. But also redefining, like, it's faster to compile when you don't have stuff. It's faster to compile when you don't have stuff in the header files. Now, I don't know how much it matters for short functions like this, but whatever. So return dereference of this, and same here. And yeah, I mean, this is the pattern we'll use for everything. But let's just test it first. So rect transform over here. And we'll say, yes, remove that, and say dot with size and with position. Remove that semicolon. So equals has to be this instead. The hell? There you go. And then let's compile that and run. Got an error. Undefined reference to rect transform with size, right? So that's because CMake doesn't recognize the CPP files. I have to refresh CMake, which is annoying, but it is what it is. I assume that it does work though, so let me go ahead and do the others as well. And while I'm at it, let me also reorder these. I feel like size should come first, because the position will more likely depends on the size. Very minor, obviously, but just to kind of have that make more sense. I don't know, just feel more organized. Rect renderer as well. Yeah. So again, just an auto with, and then insert word here. So with scale, taking a vec2 f32 scale. I mean, I guess I could put here even like just decl type of scale, right? Yeah, let me do that instead. It's more idiomatic to do that way. And when I say idiomatic, I mean like it makes more sense when you read it to do it that way. And then same with other things, just replace scale. How do I do smart replace? How do I do smart search and replace? Smart case search and replace any of them. I've done it before, but I genuinely don't know how. Per command. Okay. Force case insensitive, force case sensitive. Okay, so \c basically. So \c, scale. Okay, but like just on this line. So yeah, just S. \c, scale. Sorry, this line. This will take some getting used to. \c, scale. Replace that with position offset. And then /g. But if I make it a capital letter instead, will it be smart cased? Capital C? Yeah, not what I want though. Can I force smart case per command? No. Damn. Okay, ignore case and smart case on globally and use C inline when you need to force case sensitivity for one command. Yeah, okay, I'll do that then. So let me add these options to my config real quick. I'm so glad I have those launcher things. It makes things so much faster. Put it here. Yeah, put it here. So vim.ops.ignore case equals true, and smart case equals true as well. Yeah. Quit that. Quit this as well. Open it back up. Go back to, was it rect renderer? Okay. Right, then same for this line. So if you see how it works now, so we'll do scale slash, replace it with color. We'll do /g. No, or does that be lowercase? Yeah, lowercase. Yeah, but then it replaces it. Anyway. It's not really smart case, is it? Can I do like /c? No, I can't. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. If someone's watching this part of the video and they know, please let me know. But anyway, that's that. And then we just copy this again, make a new file, rect renderer.cpp, open it up, include the header. Right, I mean, like this is like the kind of stuff that like I can understand why you'd want AI to do it for you, because like it is just really redundant code. Actually, before I even do that, rect renderer. Or like have some kind of like pattern, I guess, built in, but like that's kind of hard to program, or like annoying. Yeah, whatever. Scale, return this, copy that to the other ones as well, but do other things instead. So position, place scale with position offset. Don't know how that extra line came in. Replace scale with color. Yeah. Of course, could you like this dot scale equals scale, and then I guess we don't need the underscore. Is that a bad idea? It's not a terrible one, but I prefer having like unique identifiers. Actually, hold on. If I go to game.cpp and the LSP has a thing, what does it show for the arguments here? Yeah, it removes the underscore here, so it doesn't really matter. It would matter if there were named function arguments, but even then the language could like have a thing where it just ignores underscores. Yeah, I guess I could pick your poison. So this is Vector's form, so actually this should also be with size already. As should this be with position. Replace that with that. And that with that. Remove that. And then for the renderer, let me do the other one. Texture renderer. Before I do that, rect transform. Let me update the other one too, because it should use decal type. So decal type of size. And have position there. Then you need to do the same thing with the other file. This one. It'd be good if there's like if there's a keybind to just like go to the CPP file, or even like a command, where it's like go to the file of this same name, you know. Whatever. Go to the file of this. Yeah, go to the CPP file of this same name type thing. That'd be quite handy. Of course, it depends on them being in the same directory, which isn't always the case anyway. But like even then, like you could just like a grep search for it, you know, and find it that way, or like a fuzzy search, whatever, fuzzy find. Right. The other one is texture renderer. Yeah, scale, offset. That's good. So again, auto with yeah, sure, scale. Decal type of scale. Could probably just copy the other one at this point, honestly, but whatever. Scale returns a text renderer. Reference. Copy and paste. Replace scale with position offset. This bit with a capital. Path of least resistance, and then scale here with texture. And again. And then copy these, create a new file, texture renderer, texture_renderer.cpp, open it up, include texture renderer.hpp, paste that there, prefix with texture renderer. Love how it didn't copy for some reason, so I have to copy it myself. Paste that. Open this one up. We'll do scale equals scale, return this, reference, then just paste those, have spaces there, remove that, and replace these variables. Scale with position offset, and scale with texture. There you go. Don't know where that came from. The absolute path, I guess, because I included. Yeah, I don't like how my LSP just auto insert things like headers, and I need to disable that because that's really annoying. Anyway, then go back to my game.cpp and just apply that everywhere. So like here, for instance, and like it just helps me be more readable too, because like you have the indentation to show that it's all one thing. So that helps quite a bit. Like that's nice. Hold on, texture is different. Texture renderer should be a pointer, right? It's a shared pointer. Yeah, no, that's fine. I did decal type, so I don't know why they wouldn't be right. It accepts a shared pointer. I guess it could take a reference instead. Like, I guess that would make more sense, right? I mean, these are trivially copyable. I guess a shared pointer is also technically trivially copyable, but it might contain, like, it might create another reference. So actually, let me, in this case, shared pointer texture and take a reference instead, a const reference. But it can't be const because like it's probably modifiable, right? Hold on, shared tech pointer. Do I need to have to take a reference if it's a shared pointer? I want to assume I don't for now, and just figure out why this is giving me an error. Expected expression, right? Because of this. Yeah. Man, this is verbose, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, and then exact same thing here. Right, it'd be with texture, but here it's just loaded already, so I can just do that. Vim texture, nice and easy, and I believe that's it. Yep, rectangle is unused, but that's fine. Just change the order of that. Okay, now CMake, just do whatever, just to make it refresh, and then build. Yeah, okay, I don't know what that is, that error at the top there. I'll see, yeah, I'll check the message log after this. It's got the PCH there, it's nice. Okay. CMake warning. Right. Yep, so a recent CMake update is kind of like broken SDL in some ways. It's not my fault, it's just SDL. So I need to wait for an update to SDL, unfortunately. But at least it compiles, right? I did have to fix something manually for it to compile, but at least I was able to fix it, you know? So we'll run it now. Okay, don't know why I did all that. Yep, so works the same as before. Maybe it detected I changed it somehow. Yeah, because I saved it. So let's not save this again. Let's go out of this. So there you go. So that's the first thing I want to do, the builder pattern. And let me commit this as well. That's all I changed, right? So all commit implement and use builder pattern for components. Push that. Right. And now I want to also have some encapsulation here. So I'm going to create the first thing in my game folder that isn't the game by making the background object. The background will be its own class. Yeah. Background will be its own class. I guess I could also make like a background renderer. Is there a reason to do that though? I mean, it's just a texture. Yeah. With a transform. But like the difference is like it doesn't move. It just sits in the background with the size, position, and then the texture. That's it. That's probably overcomplicating it though. Like, I wouldn't add that to my engine, right? So let me create a background.hpp, and it would contain a class background with public fields. Not even actually. Yeah, not even. I mean, no, actually, we have like a start. So auto start, like background start, or like background like a because like you know how like in the main game loop there's start and update, right? Maybe init is better instead of start. Because then like objects also have the init function, so then like that's like idiomatic, right? So that everything has the init or the update. Yeah, that makes more sense, I guess. I could also like inherit from something like from the engine, like initable and like updatable, you know, something like that, and like that just gives it the function init. That way, like it's just kind of like uniform across the entire board. It's not a bad idea. But then like, what if it doesn't? Well, no, because the class would, right? If I do that, I'm trying to think. The benefit is then I can like iterate over all of my things, like all of my objects with that thing, and like they'll all have the same method, so I can call that. I can call update on all of them as well. I'll think about it later, but for now I'll just do the pattern manually. So auto init takes no arguments. That too, like the custom arguments as well is a thing, right? Like what if it has like a init with something else? I mean, I'm sure that's possible with interfaces, but anyway, it will turn a results type of itself because it could be an error. So we're going to include PCH, wherever that is in my library. Is it an engine? Shouldn't be. It is. It's an it's an engine. PCH. I mean, why not? I guess. Whatever. So dot slash go out engine slash PCH. Yeah. So I could also use like absolute paths instead. Right. So just like engine.hpp that. But I don't know if that's a good idea. I'll think about it. If I use absolute paths, I'd almost want to use like these brackets instead. In the ideal world, I'll just use modules, but yeah, my LSP is lagging behind. Holy moly. Let me zoom in a bit. So we'll have a init, and that's the only public method because you use call init. And then for the actual thing, we'll just take this code. Well, yeah, so we'll do background.init. Background will be part of the thing. And then we're going to delete this. We're going to go back to background HPP. And this is basically what goes in the body of init. I will move this to a CPP file, but for now, we have this. The errors are all the same type, so that's fine. They're all strings in this case. I might create a different error system, like that doesn't use the strings, but for now, like that'll be easy to replace because I have this results wrapper thing. Yeah, so it needs transform. I mean, I don't even need to declare any variables here, right? Because like once it's registered, like that's it. You never reference the background again. It's just pure encapsulation. So game object background equals unknown type game object, right? So I need to include the actual engine itself. Getting tree sorted errors on these is crazy. Maybe if you name engine to like core or something. I don't know. In fact, then I don't need that, do I? Because that also includes that. Engine is undefined. Right. So it would need to have engine passed to it, which is fine. So game engine reference, I assume, engine. Maybe Vim texture. I just realized that's not even the right error. That could have been problematic. would never have known. Well, there's one benefit of encapsulation, I guess. Variables include type game object. Is that not known to it? Hold on, game.cpp. It includes the components. Oh, because it includes game.hpp, right? So what does game.hpp? Wrong one. It's annoying. I need to remove that. Yeah, so it includes game objects separately. Okay, and it is indeed a game engine reference. So go back to background. Include game object. Man, this LSP is kind of annoying, not gonna lie. Okay, no highlight. Rect transform is unknown because I need to include this manually as well. Yeah. Which is good. You include what you use. So components / rect transform and texture under. Okay. I could of course create like a global just like include everything type header, but I don't like that. Non-void function, yeah, return okay at the end. Sorry, return self even, right? No, just okay. Yeah. It's void. Or nothing, as I call it. Right. So background texture, good. So all that loads fine, it seems. It's all self-contained. Then I just move this code into a CPP file instead. So just copy that. How do I delete without storing it into the register? I can do boom, boom, boom. So now that's in my one register. Then I can modify this file to my heart's content. Save that. Then create. Sorry, let me also delete these then, but do it in my second register. Okay. Then create background.cpp. Open that up. I can then paste from the second register. How's it that? What? I saved to the second register. Did I push it back or something? Is that how that works? Okay, somehow the order of that got like reversed. Also, I didn't include the fucking definition like I was meant to. But let's type it out. So auto, yeah. Also, we need to include background.hpp, of course, and then have auto background init game engine reference. I guess it's a const reference, right? Like you never modify the engine, but yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then results, nothing. Cool. So last there instead. And now in games.hpp, I can include, wrong one again. Screw me. Include background.hpp. Which actually means I don't need to include this necessarily, but I still will. Just for like the explicitness, and then instead of having game object background, it'll be background. Yeah. Then in games.cpp, finally, .init. And you have to pass engine as well. Of course, I could make engine just part of the fucking game, couldn't I? But the background doesn't know what that like is part of the game, so that wouldn't make sense anyway. ignoring return value of this. Yeah. So I'd say auto background result. It's really annoying, like this. I have to do this whole pattern again. Like question mark would make this so much easier. I could of course have a try, right? A try macro, but for now I'll do it manually. So do this, and then if, in fact, in this case, I can even use the inline if. So if auto. So first I define it, and then do not background result dot has value. Return error. Background result dot error. I don't know why this is here. Let me move this as well, just down here, because that's where it's actually used. But yeah, this is just like one line. I mean, I could even remove this, but generally that's bad practice. Or make it inline like that, but still, it's really long as well, though. Yeah, whatever. I could have a convention like R for result or something. It's not a bad idea, like for this specific case, but it's also a bit ambiguous and only makes sense to me. Or like res for result. I mean, all it does is just make this like a bit shorter. I don't know if it's worth it. But you just have that. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't used directly. I'll remove it now and just use it when I need to. So I could do the same with the apps, by the way. Well, I should actually, and I will, create an app class. So first, let me commit this. Create background. Actually, before that, I should compile. Even. Ugh. Go back to my CMake, save it. I quit instead. Genius. Save it, and then call build, run build. So do this whole thing again. Just adds a few seconds to the build process. The hell? My dad's in Malaysia. Doing Wing Chun. Real Wing Chun. Not the shit they teach in the fake schools. Bro, watch the reel. It's annoying. Is that a story or what? It's on Serenban. Wong Shun Lung. Wong Shun Lung. there's my dad. He's in the video. Anyway, run. Yep. So let's commit. Create background class for encapsulation. Push that. And of course, that class will grow over time. So like, I'm not just creating it like for the sake of that. Like it will actually grow as I do more with the background. Because like it is the background as like the game like object. I should call it wallpaper. That's probably a better name for it. But I can do that later if I need to. So let's do. Yeah. So let's go back to background and in the same directory create app.hpp. Now I already had that before as well. Over here. So you've got create and then whatnot. Texture, rectangle. Yeah. I will probably just ignore this for the most part. So for this one, pretty much same pattern as we have here. Include the engine, call it app. I can create an enum class called app type. Have it be yeah, so like we got Vim, we got Paint, and that's all we have so far. And then init with the game engine. Now this one's different because it's not like initting per se. Like it is actually being created. Shit. So this one will be a constructor. So it'll be create. Would I take the game engine like this, or would I have to, right? Yeah. So it would need the game engine because it needs that information, and then also the type. So app type. It is weird having the engine passed around like this though. Like, how do you have the engine just be like a global, right? Like that's the ideal thing. But then like you use a singleton basically. Or like you create like a global instance. I mean, it's a global variable basically is what you're doing then. I could do. I just don't know if that's good or not. Whatever. I'll think about it. Yeah, probably needs to be a type like that because I'm gonna override it. Honestly, I'm just gonna do this and then use this type if I need to. So we got results. No, this would be result app in this case. Yeah, and then for the private variables or private members. The reason I put private at the bottom is because the public is what the user would want to see. So having it at the top makes sense so that they can get to it faster. It's just a thing. Obviously, they can still search for public, but whatever. Private. So we got app type, which is a type. This can only be changed by that. So we'll also have a get type, a getter, another redundant pattern. Get type returns an app type. Simple as. And other things as well that are important for it. Now, what do I even store in the game thing? Just the game object, right? So yeah, I'd probably just store the game object then within that. So app.hpp will have the game object obj, because object I believe is not a keyword. Never mind. Yeah, it's not. Fucking tree sitter bow. Stop. Right. Do I even need nvim tree sitter, like, realistically? Because, like, it does work with, like, my thing does work without it. What do I actually benefit from using nvim tree sitter when tree sitter is built in to NeoVim? Force an indent. Right. Yeah, the folding is the issue. It's just markdown files, man. It's just literally just markdown. It's so annoying. I need to fix it. Anyway, so the type, you have the object, and that's pretty much it. So we can go ahead and create a new file. Space E for. Why is it E? I just realized that doesn't make sense. E for Explorer, I guess. Yeah, whatever. All right, so space E, create app.cpp, include app.hpp, paste these. I don't know if I'll put it on all the lines. No, nice. Define these. This would be const as well. Just return type. Pretty straightforward. Out of line definition get type does not match any declaration in app. Yeah, that's expected. And then I need to steal from game.cpp. So this. Now, in that case, like, it needs a way to access the texture, right? So I would need to have some kind of like texture manager almost, because I don't have to I don't want to load the same texture over and over. So that's probably worth setting up at some point. For now, I'll just have you pass it directly. So we still create a vector of apps. That's true. But instead of this, we do something else. So we're going to copy this. Go back to app.cpp and paste that inside. Fix the indenting. So apps.emplaceback game object. Yeah, no. So it'll be create game object, and that will be our object, simple as. And then we have the rect transform, which is object for add component. And here as well. And it's important not to store these components manually, because like you can't store a reference to them because they are like subject to change, which is important to realize. So we need to also include /engine/rect transform, because we use that. Sorry, component slash. And then same, we need texture renderer. That lag thing is really annoying. It's just because of the markdown. Can I just disable markdown highlighting? How do I disable markdown highlighting for nvim tree sitter? Takes file type names. Okay, so let's open NeoVim config. It's got a glitch. Why is nothing going my way? Get NeoVim config. Git diff. Okay. Sorry, I need to get this first. use smart case and ignore case by default. Okay, go to nvim tree sitter. Yeah, so I'm on the master branch. So what do? I do highlight equals, where is that? Dot setup here. I want to disable the nvim tree sitter for markdown since it's broken entirely. Not just the highlighting. I mean, I guess I can just remove it, right? Or do this. Okay. Yeah, I'll just uninstall them. It's probably the easier path. And then just ts. How do I show like the thing for this? Module info? No. Whatever. TS uninstall. Markdown inline. What? Explicit table got string traceback. It was an error. No. Try to uninstall parser from Markdown, but the parser is still installed. Okay. But it might work now? Maybe? I don't know what the fuck just happened there. I can test it. Go to my blog. Try to open like any file. Nope, still get the same error. Fine. So I can't. So I can't just do that then. I need to disable it. So disable Markdown until bug is, or okay, I'll do bug. Markdown causes errors, need to update to main branch, essentially. Okay, and then I just add this thing, so vim.api.nvim creates auto, thanks LSP for locking in, I guess, last second. File type, okay. So the pattern is on Markdown and Markdown inline. The callback is a function that just says vim.api. No, vim.treesitter.stop. Fields cannot be injected into the reference of parser info. Well, it can, so fuck you. Right, so save that. Try this again. Hugo. Or my blog. Wrong thing. Blog. Find some random file. I still get the error. And then it installed the parsers back. But that's just the parsers. added the auto command, but I still get the range error. There's someone else who managed to disable it. Did I close this config maybe? I'll find it. Here. Sailor. Plugins. Tree Sitter. Now he's in the main branch, but he still has this. Local zero markdown equals vim.has and vim equals 1. So it's a flag. And it's used here. So is that it? Do I actually just add it to the thing there? What? But that I thought that was just for highlighting. Well, shows what I know. Disable markdown inline. But those warnings are so annoying. Quit. Try again. Nah, like it's still. What is causing that error? It's so frustrating. It's definitely, well, it could be a code block, yeah. Lua from the biggest file type. This is Lua. I did try the nuclear option and it still didn't work. It said the parsers were still installed externally, but like, what would be doing that? Oh, so is it lazy that can manage that? No, that's just plugins. Okay, let me just update my thing to main, to the main branch instead. Because this is on the main branch, right? Yeah. So let's change from master to main. It's such a shame that like it was abandoned as it had this like horrific bug. Event, I don't know if that matters though. Lazy, don't need that anymore. Dependencies, auto tag, okay. So I assume I can largely do the same thing here. Yeah? Okay. I'll just disable the whole C3 thing for now. I'll see if this is still true. Okay, let's quit. Get lazy to update. TreeSitter failed to execute ASM. Okay, so a bunch of errors for some of the things, like assembly and whatnot. Check message. So ASM failed. Lua? Markdown. Nim. But the rest were fine? What? I don't even know anymore, bro. I don't even know anymore. Nvim TreeSitter configs not found. It's not called configs. Config? Where's configs? Right, they changed the thing. So now it's just TreeSitter.setup. No. TreeSitter require nvim TreeSitter.configs. That's what I have. Okay, let's go and see what the actual thing looks like now. So right, so this is for the main branch. Use.install. Okay. Okay. So require just nvim TreeSitter. No longer need the .configs, and we'll do .install instead. Okay. .install and then just a list. Wait, functions could just take a thing like that? That's weird. Right. And then I can delete this. I assume. Right. I'm actually going to disable the ones I don't use right now, just to minimize the errors here. So F# gone, Haskell gone, Java, don't need that, JavaScript, Nim, OCaml, TypeScript, don't need that, YAML, yes, okay. So let's just keep these now. TS update. Why is this trying to access ASM? I don't understand that. Okay, let me just quit here. I think it's lagging. And let's do lazy and update. Sync. Should be up to date. Check health tree sitter. CLI not found. What? Install languages. I didn't install these. I don't understand, bro. TS. There are a lot less commands now. All parsers are up to date, it says. Those are errors here. Notice file directory tree sitter. Okay, well, I'm not getting an error anymore, so that's good at least. That is the main thing. So let's close this. I guess we'll close this for now. We'll quit this, and we'll see if we still get annoying SP errors. Bro, what are these errors? Why can't I scroll? The fuck? Right, I updated to the main branch. What are these errors? Why doesn't it just create it if it needs it? Also, is it compiling it every single time I start up? Yeah, it's all saving it. I had this issue before as well, like where it just wouldn't save the parsers, so like it literally reinstalled them every single time I opened the thing. It was really annoying. Yeah, I don't have it. Can I install it via yay/pacman? Brew install tree sitter. Paru. I don't use Paru. Yes. Okay. So I need tree sitter CLI. Sure. So yay install the tree sitter CLI. I mean, why can't it just tell me that? Like I saw it in the check health, but like it didn't tell me that I need to install it or anything. I just saw it because I happened to check, and even then I didn't really understand. Okay. No errors now. Okay, now it says language installed. Okay, check message log. Yeah, so now if I quit and open it again, it will not install again, right? Yeah, it didn't. Okay, thank God. Right, that should just help things be less laggy now with my LSP autocomplete. Fuck me. Did they change the fucking thing? Why are these now different? Now my highlighting's different. Oh, why is it turn purple? What the fuck? Oh, did they change the parsers? Is that what they did? Inspect C block. What? CVP type links to type. What is C block? I feel like I'm actually like low-key dying right now. What the fuck? It's fine. No, even that's wrong. They just messed up my highlighting. What the fuck? Oh. This is not cool. What? Okay, hold on. What? Shared pointer texture. Texture. I just use that. Okay. Copy that to the header file. Make this const. Can I combine with previous type name declaration specifier? And then in game.cpp, change how this works. App equals apps dot and place back. App create. Do we have that yet? Fuck me. HTTP include app.http. Use that instead of apps. Yeah, just pass the texture, that's fine. So it's definitely creating copies, but I'll fix that later, man. When I actually figure out what I'm doing here. We'll do it like this instead. At the end, we'll do apps.emplaceback or pushback app. Change this to auto maybe app equals app create. Hold on. Why is it not showing me the LSP autocomplete, by the way? It's kind of meant to do that. Game engine type, and literally what do I hire you for? So we'll have engine, app type, Vim, and then the texture, which is Vim texture. Call to non-static member function without an object argument. So that needs to become static. And then if not maybe app dot has value, return maybe app. I gotta be careful I don't like miss my parcel by accident with my keyboard. That'd be pretty bad. But they also have my phone number, so they can call me if worst comes to worst. But like this is a doorbell, so I should be able to hear it, right? Then auto app equals standard move, maybe app. Okay, and then you just do that. Probably need to standard move this as well, to be fair, right? Yeah, this is really funky, isn't it? In fact, let me just do this instead. I'll do apps.emplaceback, standard move of that, and then have this be a reference. And then just do that directly. Okay, so app.http, the actual one that I want, please. So this needs to be static. Okay. Which means in this file, I do need to declare a static, right? Invalid user member object in static member function. I mean, I don't know why it's even a result app, to be fair. Like, it could actually just be a constructor. But I guess, like, if it could error later. Like here, like, this is you know, error case. But yeah, it's possible it could error in the future. So we'll say return this. Like I highly suspect it will. Sorry, return result. Yep. app results, and then result.objects, all of that. Okay, use of undeclared identifier I. Right. Yeah, so we'll just say 20 and copy that later as well. So let's remove that. That's fine. Then back in game.cpp, you have these. So we'll say, fuck me, app.objects. Is that not private though? Yeah. Change y, let's say. By this. And then we actually delete these. And I could also just do this, I guess. Like, I don't need this anymore. But that's not really, it's kind of hacky anyway. So again, app.http, create a new thing, auto change y. It's not const at all actually. It takes a f32, y, I don't know, offset I guess, and returns nothing. It's void. Okay. Then define it in the other file. So voids app change y, and I'll just do object.position, no, object.get component. Okay, the fact that this can error is kind of crazy actually. But realistically it shouldn't error. Like by design it shouldn't error. So yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know how this would work in Rust, where like this could just error. Like this is this is like the case where like you wouldn't even want to throw like return an error value. You want to just throw an exception straight up. Or I mean, actually, in Rust it'd be nicer because, again, like question mark operator is fine, right? In C++ it's just hell because like to have true errors as values, you need to use them everywhere, and you don't want to have if statements everywhere. So this is actually a problem. So I'm going to ignore it just because it's convenient to ignore it, and it shouldn't happen. But in Rust, it'd be safer. But you know, safety schmafety, it's a game. I can assume from this context that my rect transform is not going to be null because it shouldn't be. If this fails, it's indicative of a bigger architectural issue that will show itself through other means. So there we go. Object.get component. Yeah. So auto rect transform equals that, and then rect transform dot position dot y equals plus equals even offset. Non-const LY reference to type rect transform pointer as a pointer. Okay. I could also have it be like this, I guess, like directly. Yeah, why not? This ain't Unity. I have full freedom. There you go. Should I like have an assert? I guess that's better documentation, right? Yeah, actually, let me do that. I kind of like that. So like assert that rect transform is not null pointer. this way is self-documenting as well, which is quite good. Use of undeclared identifier assert. I know there's static assert, but I forget. I thought static assert was just for compile time. No. Yeah, it says compile time assertion check-in. Yeah, there's assert here. Aborts the program if the use specified is not true. Maybe disabled for release builds. I mean, I could throw an exception. Okay. Consider this code. Now, technically speaking, rect transform should never be null pointer. Now, okay, hold on. Now, rect should never be pointer. Pointer should never be null pointer. Or should logically never be a null pointer. If it were to be null pointer, it would be indicative of a game engine issue, of a larger game engine issue. Therefore, I could have this return a result, well, a standard expected void e. But C++ doesn't have nice error propagation like Rust does with its question mark operator. Hence, I'm thinking about having an assert instead. Or would an exception be more suitable? How do you spell propagation, bro? Is it propagation? It is. It's language, bro. The distinction sessions and unexpected are for recoverable conditions. Right, it crashes loudly. Yeah, so if it happens during release builds, then that's my fault for not debugging better, quite frankly. So I'm actually kind of fine with that. Don't use exceptions. Right. Because if it's something that shouldn't happen, right? Like it specifically should not happen. Again, like Rust is better. Okay, let me ask actually. What if this was Rust? Because like I feel like Rust. Like the thing is, yes, they're not recoverable, but you can still get useful information from them. Expect. Like if you can return a stack trace, that'd be useful. That's what you want. Okay. A fake error contact up the stack for no benefit. Unless you have stack traces, but okay. Right. So I'm gonna use the asserts after I recall how I include it even. C assert, okay. Right. So let's. Can I even build yet, or do I need to fucking refresh my CMake again? Let me just check game.cpp again. Like this, right? Like it should be there. It should be there. Anyway, so this is needs updating as well. For each app, we'll just say app dot update. Actually, and we'll pass in delta time. Okay. The index doesn't matter. I only added that for testing purposes. There it doesn't matter. That is here, but I have that there, so that's fine. Yeah, so I will delete that and move it into app. So first of all, actually, I'll do the app the CPP first. So results. Would it be result though, or just void? I don't know. I don't know yet. Whatever. App update takes an F64. Does the time. Don't ask me why it's 664. It's just precision, I guess. There it probably should be 32 to be honest. And then yeah, just remove I. Right, it needs to have the time elapsed as well. Okay. Does it though? Like it, I mean, like it could have its own counter. In fact, it's kind of supposed to have its own counter. So no, time elapse will be built in. So I'm gonna change that. It'll just be objects.get component. And again, assert that it's not null. Right, so we need to include CMath. Okay, and I'm going to put this in the HTTP. I'm going to have F64, I think. Yeah, time elapsed. Okay, and it starts at 0. Okay, and the update loop should be every frame anyway. So yeah, we'll do time elapsed plus. No, plus equals delta time. Yeah. Now, so game doesn't even use this. It's an unused variable, but it's fine. Yeah, so like this wouldn't ever return error anyway. I'm just trying to think, like, when would you have an error during the game loop? Like you can. Like you have errors here. Well, I actually don't use any of these now. You have errors here in the start, right? Because things could fail to load, but like likewise in the update loop, you could load something at update time, and that could fail, or like something else could fail. So I don't know. The thing is, the error messages in the game loop should not be engine related. They should be the game related, right? So like I should not be getting engine errors in this. Now, I debug in my engine at the same time with benefit from having the error messages, but like my engine itself should just work, and the game like the errors that are reported from these functions should not be engine related. So that's interesting. I need the toilet, man, like badly. I'm just gonna pause here. Wait, I have Obsidian. Fuck, I just lost it now. No, wait, OBS is here. What? Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna pause. My keyboard's been dispatched, so it'll be arriving in the next... Well, it says by 4 p.m. It's currently 12:50, so like within the next 4 hours. How exciting. Anyway, so I was yapping about error handling. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, ideally, it would just be a game error, right? But the thing is, like, an engine error is... It shouldn't happen. But for debugging purposes... Yeah, it's weird. Like, because it's a dependency, right? The engine is a dependency. So, like, you as the person using the engine shouldn't need to, like... handle those errors, because there shouldn't be any engine errors. It should be perfect. Any errors that it does report would be errors that are like game related, like you feeding like a path that doesn't exist, for instance, or like maybe a memory allocation error, right? But like nothing that's like about the engine being flawed in of itself. But still, it can report errors. So if anything, the error type should be like an enum. So like if I was write this like in Rust, right, it'd be a result of I don't even know, like it'd be an enum basically of either... Okay, yeah, so it'd be a result of, well, in this case, nothing, whatever, or either a engine error or some kind of game error type thing. It's interesting, but yeah, whatever the case, it should be a result type here. Anyway, does this work even? Let's run it. It's going to say, the CMake did not recognize this file. You need to update your CMake list.txt. Except it won't tell me that. I need to kind of infer that using my own knowledge of C++, because it doesn't tell you that information. Save, build. Give me a massive error, but that, you know, isn't my fault. God, it takes so long, bro. Why is it building all of like the renderer and the textures as well? I guess it's like they include stuff, so they kind of have to. Yeah. So anyway, now they're all in sync, as you'll notice, because they are created at the same time. But it works. So again, add all, git commit. Actually, what's even different? Yeah. So create app class, push that. Right. So now, same thing. I haven't really done much. I've just kind of organized the code better. I still want to get the whole grid thing working. So let us do that. I said texture manager, I'll figure out later. One more thing I want to do is just change this to a init, which means I need to then go ahead and rename a bunch of things. init as well. We don't actually use game object. It's cool. And then I need to go to the iGame as well in the engine and change that to init. And then I need to go to main.cpp and change that to engine.cpp and find start / start. Okay, it's arrow start. Of course it is. What's flash? There. And change it to init. This is the engine. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is placement and your mouse. So let's actually start looking at these files that I have here. That needs to be deleted. So like here, I've uploaded HPP. I can delete this now because I'm not using it. D to delete, remove app, yes. Desktop. Don't think I need that either right now. So delete that. I should rename background to desktop as well, but come back to that later. We got grid and game, game as well. Like, yeah, I mean, like this is the code I need as well. So we got handle events, and then we have the mouse position and get mouse state. Okay, where's get mouse state coming from? The SDL library that I created as a wrapper. So we need to wrap that to have like mouse stuff. That's important. Then all this stuff. Yikes. This code, man. This was bounds checking. Yeah, okay. So first things first, the mouse. So here's the thing I created for that. You got mouse button type, left, middle, right, x1, x2, whatever. And then you got get mouse state as just a global function. So I would pretty much to do. Why is that highlighted in two different ways? That's kind of weird. Oh, right. So I didn't even have support for like different types yet. I guess. But this is correct. Well, should I wrap it in a struct like this, or should I just return what's asked for? It's weird because it gets the two things at once. But that assumes I want both at once. If I get them separately, it'll be a bit slower because then it's. Yeah, whatever. Let's just delete this one. So let's go engine and it'll be auto get mouse position, and it'll return a vector. I think is it F32 or is it I32? Let's check the spec, the docs here. SDL3 mouse position, get mouse state, yeah. Float, yeah, it is float. So F32. Okay, copy this. Go to CPP file, go down to the bottom, paste that there. Add the game engine namespace, expand this. Thank you for not doing that. We'll just say auto whatever, so discard it, equals SDL get mouse state. And then we need to have vec2 F32 results or mouse position. So either works. And there's pass those in. So we got, oh, now it's working, the fucking LSP. Mouse position dot x and mouse position dot y. And because it's a C library, we have to fucking pass it as reference, like pointers. I really dislike how these are C libraries, like wrappings, despite being C++. Just makes programming like that much more difficult in C++. Like, it's really not talked about enough. Yep, pretty simple there. Yeah. So let's just have it first go to the mouse position, probably makes sense. So game HTTP. We just need like a game object, right? Like not the whole app itself, just the game object for the renderer kind of thing. I'll create an app for now, but like I'll place it later. So app will be this will be the app preview, and then in the loop. Well, no. First of all, in the init app auto maybe app preview equals app. Okay, buddy. I can actually reuse this, can't I? Yeah, I totally can. And just like copy it instead. But I don't know if it's copyable because of the textures. It's a shared pointer there, it should be fine. Right? Can I copy these? Like if I don't standard move it, can I copy it instead? Let's see if this builds. No write since last change. What does that mean? To CMake lists? CMake lists? It builds. Yeah, it does run. So I kind of copies. Okay, so in that case I'll do that instead. So let's move this out. Right, and just say app template or whatever, auto app template equals standard move maybe app. Basically just giving it a different name. And then here we'll just take app template. Yep. Then same thing, maybe app. So then because that's already been loaded, I can just do this, and that'll copy it. Although, well, yeah, however not obvious that is. And then from that should be good. I think that's all. Let's build that just to test. Okay, that works. And then let's have app preview dot set position, set pause, go to mouse even. To do that, it needs to have the engine though, right? Yeah, let's just make a set position for now. So set position, really hate how to like get getters and setters. Set position to what's better, this or app preview dot get position ref plus like equals instead? Yeah, it's just unfortunate. C# handles this more nicely. So app set position to engine. Right, so here engine's not even pass anymore, so that needs to be fixed. Okay. So engine dot get mouse position. Okay. So let's jump to this definition. I can't because it's not being matched anymore. Hallelujah. So we'll just copy this, paste it here, and then I need to go to iGame, do the same thing, and then I need to add to app. There's change Y, but also set position. Vec F32. Yeah, position. Put these together. Vec2. CBP file now. Go down here. Man, we really need like a new nice systems programming language. Like my two options that I seriously consider are C++ and Rust, and both are just really lacking features that I would appreciate. Yeah, just object dot. Well, same thing here really, but instead say position equals position. Okay, let's build that. Engine.cpp line 37 was it? I didn't really pay attention to that. It was here, I was close. And it was passing game engine. Or just this. Yeah, build. So when I update engine, I guess because like it's such a global file, it literally affects everything, which is kind of annoying. But this is the CPP file for engine, so it shouldn't even do anything. I think it's more that because I changed the game in that case. But yeah, generally changing this CPP file shouldn't take that long to rebuild. Segmentation fault. I don't understand how I keep getting segmentation faults. Is it because I'm trying to copy the thing here with app template? Like how do I copy it? I need like do I need to like create an explicit copy constructor or something? Like a segmentation fault is so annoying because like like you should not be getting those in C++, ideally. The compiler should really warn you of that. What flags can I add to my cMakeLists.txt to catch C++ bugs more easily? I don't know if I already did this. If I haven't, I really need to, like fsanitize and stuff. Does W all not already include these? Does W all not already include all those extra warning flags you mentioned? What? I mean, okay, I'll see what they actually are. So I just add compile options. Where is that? Where would I put that? Where in this file does it make sense to add these? Add the warning flags to it directly. Target, compile options. Where's that? Here. Okay. All right, those are the options. Yeah, I didn't notice. Okay. So W all, W extra, W pedantic, and W error. Then other ones, shadow, variable shadowing. Does shadowing, I didn't know shadowing could happen. Non-virtual in C++, non-virtual detour, what? All style cast, it's fine. Cast align, unused, overloaded virtual, conversion, sign conversion, null dereference. Wait, hold on, implicit sign conversions. Well, there's some implicit ones that I want though. Null dereference, sign conversion, double conversion. Okay, I'll just do these for now. Also the fsanitize stuff, but only on debug. So if cmake build type stir equal debug, I don't even know how that checks necessarily, and if add compile options fsanitize equals address undefined f no omit frame pointer, and then add link options for the same thing as that. Right? Let's build then, see what happens. Should get lots of errors now, right? As my code base is just perfect. I don't know if it'll include the SDL stuff though. That might be a problem. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's smarter than that. Yeah, okay. Type qualifiers ignored on function return type. Type qualifiers ignored on function return type. What? Of all the errors to get, I don't expect that one. drop the const. Oh, I see, bool const. Okay, sure. This was where? Sorry. Where's the log? Okay. Fuck. Just build again. Component pool, line 42. Right, so just remove const basically. Okay, I expect more errors though. Unused variable, unused. Oh yeah, that's true. I don't need that anymore. Apple CVP, Apple CVP, Apple CVP. Okay. Same for the other one. So not there, but up here. Wait, now it tells me they're unused. I guess because the LSP could only know after I compiled, which is funky. It's why you really don't need the LSP, because like the compiler gives you better warnings anyway, errors anyway, and then you can just put the stuff there. Oh yeah, right. Result, yeah. What? Result dot type equals type. Okay. So also, I don't even need this, right? Like I could just do engine.createGameObject. I mean, I need this, but then I just like put this, and then I just replace this with .addComponent. No, that. No, never mind. That returns a component. Yeah. Anyway, so same for background. I presume. Yep, they're not used here either. So remove that. Well, okay, now I know this isn't used. Why didn't you tell me before? not even the compiler told me that one. Right, build. Preview set but not used. Yeah. Why is that an error? Which one's this one? Unused with set variables. That was on purpose though. Because I don't want to use it. Okay, let's just. But then this was like an uninitialized variable warning or something like that. Oh no, it built. Okay. But if I run it, yeah. How do I make use of fsanitize? I see, but when I run it, I get nothing. Okay, because I'm getting a segmentation fault with no other details, despite compiling with debug. I mean, like, unless I fucked up the this. But that's correct. And if I check sanitize, if I check my my build.sh, seriously, it didn't have the flag the whole time. That was an oopsie. dcmake build type equals debug. Okay. So we're going to build again. Or not. Whatever. Build. Unknown argument dcmake build type. Oh, you put it before, right? Yeah, that's why I excluded it the first time, because like it's more like a setting, right? B build or build debug? I don't even know anymore. dcmake. Yeah, just copy this. Fuck off. Okay, build. It's building. Compiled. Let's see if we get more useful errors now. Why did it run? Just rerun that. Okay. Nope. Okay, it's debugger time. So when we use the debugger, can I like just not have like continue until it gets to an error and then tell me where it errored? Like I feel like that'd be quite useful, no? But maybe it's hard to automate that. So my assumption is that the error happens somewhere here. So let me toggle this breakpoint. And let's do dap new build debug / freeware. It's gonna okay, and we're gonna step over. Okay. Step. Oh, wait, did it just skip the absolute reserve 5? I guess that was a optimization moment that just happened there. Well, really, I don't want optimizations for debug, do I? Yeah, I'd rather not have that. Interesting. Anyway, for u size, I equals 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Step over, does that step over the for loop or? No, it doesn't. Right, so like, does this cause the fault? No. What about the second time? No. Okay. So dap step out. Fuck me, bro. If not, I just left the function. Whoops. Okay, but that had no issues then. If not, so result has value, return error. Okay. So where are we getting a segmentation fault? Let me go back and set another breakpoint like here. Okay, dap continue. Yeah, okay. Step over. It's going to update each app. It's fine. Five times. Skip that. Because it's not used, I guess. address not mapped to object. What? I have the assert here. So is this the issue? Is this null or something? Because when I think segmentation fault, I think of like a raw pointer access. So let's clear the breakpoints, and then let's toggle the breakpoint here, and then let's do dap new again. Okay, so here, so we're going to dap step over. Yeah. Did it even have time to assert? Or does it just crash there? Object get component reference form. Yeah, so in this case, it's because I didn't apply this. Hold on. Auto. Oh my days. Is that why? Is that why? Because I said auto instead of actually giving it a thing. That's why I said set but unused, because it's like it literally wasn't used at all. Okay, there we go. Fucking hell, right. Shit. It be for my mouse. Okay, so it's issue is it's using the same shared pointer. It's not copying. Which isn't ideal. Fuck me, dude. Implicit copying is so annoying. I mean, not having implicit. Okay, what the fuck? It's moving my default here. It's moving my default. But yeah, whatever. It's fine. Right. So really, I need like an explicit copy thing, which means allocating a new pointer. What? See, this is what's annoying. Usually this is a copy, but what I believe has happened here is the copy constructor has been deleted, so it's instead defaulting to the move constructor. So it's moving it. Or like passing by reference or something like that. I mean, right? I don't know what else would be happening, but like, it isn't a reference. It should be a copy because it's not a reference. They can't hold a reference. Even if the texture is a shared pointer, which it should be, it should, they should share the texture. The actual app itself should be copied. Because app is not a reference. App is a class type. Which is the same as struct. And it has a position. No, it has game object. But like, it's just a game object. It's not like a shared pointer game object. It's just game object. So it should be copied. Is game object not even copyable? Hold on. It stores 2 pointers. Right, because the handle is the same. Okay. I need to define explicit copy constructors. How do I define copy constructors for a C++ class? again. Always will forget this. I mean, I should make a cheat sheet. There is like Stack Overflow, but I think those are outdated these days, which is annoying as well. You know, don't use AI, just look online. But I look online and I get outdated answers, so that's not really nice, is it? How about the copy operator? I guess same thing. So it'd be a const other. Okay. So game object. Well, yeah, game object. Const game object. Other. Yeah. I mean, the engine pointer is the same, right? So just say like engine is other dot engine. And handle. Yeah, so the handle will speak. The handle will need to generate a new handle. Yeah, but that doesn't work though, because the handle is tied to its components. So just share components. This doesn't work, does it? No. No. This doesn't work. The components won't be the same. To copy it, we need to then copy the components as well. So the handle points to the same shared component, basically. Well, that's what I don't want anyway. So it's just a texture that won't be shared. So that involves a whole other texture system. Okay. No. So in that case, no. I don't want a copy constructor. This is for game object. Yeah, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. Like you want to copy the values, right, of those components, but then yeah, so like you want to copy the component values. You want to copy the component values, and that's it. But so then like they don't share components. They just kind of like the components gets copied as well. Issue is a game object doesn't know what components it has, to my understanding. Unless you want to like cycle through all the possible components and check like, does it have this, does it have this, does it have this? Like, no. The game object needs some kind of way to know which components it has. And I don't know how to do that. I could have like an enum that tracks it, I guess. With like a vector. It's not a terrible idea. Right? Look at that. That's me as a child. And look what I'm doing. I'm playing on the iPad. And you'll never believe what I'm playing. Or you never guess what I'm playing. And actually, no. Yeah, probably. My dad even said Plants vs Zombies. I didn't even ask. We just know. It was probably Plants vs Zombies. Funny. My dad sends me that when I'm making a Plants vs Zombies ripoff now, an inspired game. So yeah, so to track which components it has, one way is to track it manually, like literally just like have like an enum that says this is the components that it has. But yeah, I mean, like there isn't really a way to do it like in any other way because this uses like duck typing, right? It would improve the error handling, I guess, to an extent. Because if you try to get a component that doesn't exist, I mean, either way, it'll return null pointer, but like, it can check it that way as well, technically. So I mean, it's like, but like you don't need to. It works, but like I just feel like this isn't the most correct way to do it. For an entity component system, how do entities track which components they actually have? My thoughts right now is to use an enum. Is to use a like an enum array to manually track them as they are added / removed. But is there a better way? I mean, if I just learned how to like make fucking ECS like formally, then I wouldn't have these questions, but bit mask. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of like a vector, but like the more efficient would be bit set. Mind you, a vector in C++ is actually like a vector of bools. Like the reason you know this is because it's like day one, like how to cause crashes for no reason. It's a bit vector. A standard vector bool is literally a vector of bits. So one of C++'s $1 million mistakes. It does mean you need to keep track of all the components yourself. I mean, either way, I need to do that, right? Yeah. A bit vector would be. Well, no, yeah, no. Well, no. I wouldn't use a vector because it's not a vector bool per se. Yeah. What I was thinking originally was literally an enum, like a vector of an enum, but that would be a waste of space. You want a bit array or bit set, I guess. Each component type has its own sparse set. A dense array of entity data pairs plus a sparse array mapping. Sorry, what? A dense array of entity data pairs plus a sparse array mapping entity ID to index and dense array. Oh, okay. Because right now I have a component pool class. Hold on. How does this differ from the component pool class? Each component type. Oh wait, no, sorry, never mind. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, so this is what I have, right? I have this setup, I think. What it's supposing is that I have it has if that blah, blah, I have a has component check function, whatever, and then I literally just iterate over all of my component types, which isn't the most efficient. I mean, it probably is efficient, but it's like then I need to iterate over all of them, right? Iterate over all the pools. I could do it. It'd just be like I can't like automate it. I would need to list out all different pools manually and check them manually, I think. Can I have an array of generic ones? No, because I need to get the type. Reflection might actually make that a bit easier. Let me see what I actually have first of all. If I check out my engine, you see the pools are here. Oh wait, I have a hash map. Yeah, so actually, I guess I can just iterate over the fucking hash map then, and then if it has the type, then it will. I mean, as long as the thing is, like, can I retrieve the type? That's the question. If I can retrieve the type, then I can do it. Because it needs to know what the type is. Or archetypes. Entities with the same exact components that live in the same contiguous table. Yeah, never. So bitmask is what I was thinking, but I currently store component pools like so. So considering I could iterate over this and check .has entity, would I be able to retrieve the type, the specific component type as well? Because I need that. Play speed, I need this. Yeah, that's fine, I knew that. Worked but its own number of component types per query instead of O1 with a bit mask. And you lose which type matched unless has entity also returns the type index you're iterating on. Okay, that's fine then. So type index does work. I can put in pool as type arrays, yeah. That's the issue. These virtual methods. Okay, so a bit mask is what I'll use then, or bit set, or bit array, whatever you want to say it. Wait, what? Each component type gets a bit index. Then why is it an entity mask? Index. Okay. Why is it an array? guess like DoD, right? Like have the arrays together, you know, like a class of arrays instead of an array of classes. Because what I was thinking was I just put the bit set inside the actual entity class itself. But if I want them to be contiguous, then having the arrays. But like that's like an optimization that I don't need to do right now. So let me just add it to the actual entity class. That doesn't exist. What's it called again? Game object. So aside from the engine and the pointer and the handle, it will also have so I'm just trying to think something else. I'll come back to that later. Anyway, so game, yeah. So we also have a standard. Fuck off. A standard bit set. Of, I mean, run it as like 3 components, so we'll do 3. Right? Why not? And then call that the components. Not really, but whatever. Or like a component list of sorts. I mean, it's a component like checklist. Component checklist, is that a good name? Yeah, let's do that. Component checklist. Okay, and that's pretty good. So standard bit set. Their context expert. That's good. That's cool. When was this even added? See also vector pool. Space efficient dynamic bit set. Yeah, I don't want a dynamic bit set. Dynamic bit set anyway. But yeah, tragedy, honestly. Vector pool is a tragedy. Why does it say what version it is? Part of your utility? Yeah, it doesn't say since when. Like, is it like a feature that's always existed or something? Like, I don't understand. Maybe. I mean, bit sets are pretty important, right? Right, so you got size, set bits to true or given value. Okay. And you do the array syntax to access a specific bit. Can I set it to true or false? Does that work? I think so, yeah. True or false, it seems to say. And you can compare it against a binary integer as well. It's pretty useful. Yeah. Okay. Good. Right. So let's get on with this. So we're going to include bit set. That's not right. It is bit set. Make sure to misspell it. And There needs to be a component enum, and we'll cast it to integers as well, right? So 0, 1, 2, yeah, we'll do that. So that needs to go somewhere. Components. Okay. Component type, component. Do these inherit from anything? Wrong one, I guess. They don't. Yeah, they don't even like inherit from like I components or anything like that. They just exist. It's interesting. I mean, they don't need to. Well, actually, it would be handy if they had a function that returns the type, component type, right? Yeah, that would be pretty handy, actually. Yeah, so let me create components, component type header, and this will just have an enum class. Well, first of all, have the enum class, component type, and my components are not there, they're here. My components are rect renderer, transform, and text renderer. Don't need to switch there. So rect transform. Yeah, and then just renderer and text renderer. And I'll put these here just to be like really explicit. And in case I want to change some of the ordering around differently, whatever. And then also have a class for iComponent, honestly. Now you don't have to prefix them with I, but because of like namespace collision, naming collisions and the English language being kind of bad, it's kind of necessary. Or, well, it's helpful. So an iComponent must have a virtual get component type. Yeah, and it'll just return component type. They must have that. Okay. So then for each of these, I need to implement that as well. So get, well, hold on. Include, include component type. Yeah. And then we can inherit from that. Think of this as like having a trait called component in Rust. Do you know why that doesn't show up? Did you mean component type? iComponent. That's what I meant. Okay. And then auto get component type. SP is not feeling it today, I guess. Return a component type. Override. Yep. And same for the rest. So I'll copy this first of all. So rect transform, same thing. Include component type and inherit from it. And texture render as well. can hear my fans going. It's not too hot though. It's fine. Okay. And with that, I can then implement them. Right, that's also important. Here. Texture renderer. I don't think I need the override thing. In fact, I can't even have that there. And then it will just return component type, text renderer. Pretty straightforward. And same for the rest. Paste. But be rect transform instead. So texture renderer for rect transform. And then this. Transform with renderer. Okay, with that done, I can then go to game object, and this will include components / component type. So then I have this bit set. Okay, and let me also go to my PCH real quick and just add this using bitset equals standard bitset. Touche, template, type name, n. And let's reorder this as well. Let's put it like, I guess next to vector makes sense. Even like before vector. Yeah, and we'll include bit set. My thing's lagging like crazy right now. What the hell? I hope it's not my cursor. No, it shouldn't be. Yeah, what's the lag? You okay? My thing's like actually dying now. Hold on. Again, it's not even particularly hot. It's just lagging. I don't know why. Is it to do with my browser? Again, like despite looking open, the vast majority of these tabs are actually closed. Unnoted. Yeah, I don't know why it's so laggy. Is it Claude? Is Claude like tripping up right now? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, bitset not used directly. It's lying to me because of this. Must be an expression. What? Standard. What? It's lagging again. This is confusing. Template argument for non-type template parameter must be an expression. Fuck me. Standard size t. Or usize. Yeah. Okay. Yikes. I'll just size t just to be clear here. What the fuck? Still lagging, so it wasn't Claude, clearly. Obsidian? Is Obsidian tripping right now? I think so. It's a bit slow to close, that's it though. Nope, still lagging. Bro, what's going on? Like, yeah, I'm putting an OBS, but it says 21% CPU. Like, it shouldn't be that laggy. Is my memory getting like eaten up right now? Do I have a virus as of the new art update on my computer installed? I guess that's not possible. But I don't know why it'd be so slow right now. Arch Linux, check all running processes. Actually, I do have a process manager, htop. Yeah, that's that. OBS, WaterFox. I mean, I would expect to see like OBS for a lot of these. My Bluetooth. System monitor. Is that a KD thing? Network, disk, memory and swap. Memory says 11.9 gigs, 70% of 16.3. So like I do have memory left. No like crazy spikes either. CPU, I got 8 different cores, yeah. And they're all fairly low. Right? I don't know which one OBS is using, but should be fine. Processes, OBS using 476, which should be fine. CPU 12.2%. That's fine. Hyperland, GNOME, System Monitor, Pipewire. Close still open it in the background, which is annoying actually, and it is using memory. So let me terminate that. That's why it's useful having like something like this, so I can like see those. So Claude's here as well still, bro. Like it's a background process. But like even then, like my computer memory isn't being like overrun. So why is it just being overrun? Discord actually might be causing issues. Yeah, because I wasn't able to launch Discord, and I still can't for some reason, and I wonder if that's why it's there. But like I tried doing like pkill like Discord, and it just didn't do anything. Like if I do pkill 9f Discord and Discord, like does it get rid of them? It did actually. Okay, that's nice. It's like maybe like those causing memory leaks or something. Cause I know that it is prone to causing memory leaks. LTP DAP is currently enabled. Maybe it's just the plugins for NeoVim, but it shouldn't be that crazy. Stop my memory here. ClangD, 1.1 gigabytes for ClangD, bro. For the LSP. So like, is my LSP just bugging? Why is Emacs open? I don't even have Emacs. Emacs daemon is open. Right. Well, terminate that. 612 megabytes. Like that looks like malware, with how suspicious that is. But okay. Yeah. So ClangD is using 1.1 gig, which is just insane. But whatever. More writing to do, I guess. Of course, this wouldn't matter if my computer was just better, but you are given the hand you are dealt. So game object, yeah, this lag is actually kind of crazy right now. I'm gonna quit, just like to kind of relaunch it. Seems to be, yeah, it seems like I was in like some kind of like memory leak going on with like ClangD, like whatever it was, that wasn't normal. Very suspicious. Very suspect. So we'll have bit set here. Is it still lagging again? No. It's fairly okay. I mean, ClangD is still loading. Like, I get like it's a big project as well, but like it should be lazy about finding stuff. Otherwise, it's just gonna like use up all my resources. Mission control. What's the difference there? Is this on the no map? Right. Yeah. So there's the no map. No, this is mine. I think I installed this one. Just like an alternative way to do it, I guess. My fans are 57%, 60%, 62 degrees. Here are my apps in a more nice layout. Although, funnily enough, a lot of apps don't even show up here. Like, there's no waterfox or anything. For some reason, it just doesn't like actually recognize proper apps. What's F665? Yeah, like for some reason, waterfox is here and not in my apps thing. What was the thing I did before just now? I can't remember. I'll find it here somewhere. Blanket. Wonder what that does. I have like a bunch of like apps from the CMake app. What? I have a bunch of apps from HTOP. No. From what's it called? KDE, I think. I don't know. I got Power Zombies from GNOME. System Monitor. That's right. Bro, I thought I deleted Yahtzee. I need to delete more apps as well. Okay, let's sub memory again. Clang D is not like already up to 957. Like, why? What the fuck? Right, Claude, help me explain this. Why does Clang D in NeoVim use so much memory? It's using more than OBS, and I suspect it's slowing down my computer. Like my computer isn't particularly strong, right? But like, fucking hell, dude. Like it's an LSP. Right, so I can cap it manually. Switch to disk if RAM is a bottleneck. I don't want to do that. Broken text reprocess files as you edit, keeping multiple TU parsers cached. I mean, I might just stop using an LSP anyway, so I'm not gonna configure these for now. But yeah, I want to try and see if I can reconfigure my stuff. It's 2 p.m. now, so my aunt could actually be back very soon. It's not quite made the progress I wanted to today, but that's fine. Things always take longer than they seem. Anyway, so I got a bit set of 3 things, which is the component checklist. So I don't need this. And I can create the copy constructor now. Right? I can't. If I could like return the type, if I could return the type from the function as like an actual value, that'd be really useful. But I think I need reflection for that. I don't think I can do that right now in C++. So for this to work, it would check which components it has, and then add those same components. Effectively, that's what it's doing. So it'd be like, but it would need to copy all the same things, right? So can the components themselves be copied? I assume they can be, right? Just say equals. That doesn't really work though. Like this here, this constructs. This constructs. Yeah. Maybe I do a different thing then. Let's duplicate this function, but do copy component instead. So you get no args. You just get the component, right? That'd be a t component const reference. And then you just add it here instead. In fact, don't even take a const reference. Like, do I? I mean, like, this should copy, right? Get pool mplace. Wait, no, yeah, mplace, yeah. Well, no, it depends. It's a pool of what? It's a pool of components. Yeah. So this I think this is the constructor for component pool. Is now what I'm looking at. Oh no, it's actually a function. Okay, yeah, good. And then that takes a copy, so that's fine. Yeah, I was thinking that was a vector for a second. So game object. Oh god, I love fucking fuzzy find, dude. It's so useful. Right, so then we have this instead, which is good. So to create a copy, we can take the engine, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. And then for the actual function body, we would do for it can't be a reference. Yeah, it's trivially copyable. So it'll be a bool. So for each bool has component, yeah, from component checklist invalid range expression of bit set, no variable begin. Can I iterate over a standard bit set with a for loop? Or do I need to index it? Granted, I do actually need the index anyway, so that's fine. So for usize I is 0. Component checklist dot size I++. Is it a function dot size? It is dot size. And then we need to match on it. So we can use switch on component checklist I, but cast it. It's a string? What the fuck? How do I cast? It's a Boolean. It's I. I'm just going I. How do I cast it to an enum class? Can I use static class? How do I cast an integer to an enum class in C++? Can I use static cast, or do I need a C style cast? I assume, like, surely you can do it within C++. Oh wait, is there enum class? No, it's static cast. Okay. Static cast color X. It's undefined behavior if X doesn't correspond. I know that much. So with static cast, we could like a bit. Well, no, it would make sense. Static cast. Yeah, not I. Static cast. Component type. I. Good. So case. Right. So case. What's first? Direct transform, I think. But I'm missing the thing. Component type. So if it's that, then copy component, rect transform, yeah, of other dot get component rect transform. Yeah. Use of undeclared identifier rect transform. So I need to also include all of those. So rect transform, rect renderer, and text renderer. No matching function call to get component. It's a pointer. It's a pointer. Yeah, so just reference it, because we assume that it's not null. No matching member function for call to get what? What's other? Other is a game engine. Is a game object. No, it should work. Get component, T component. I need to reference it. What is going on? Yeah, I don't understand why that's not accepting that. But that should work in theory. Right. Also, I put an if statement here. If component checklist at I equals true. Yeah, you don't usually see that, do you? You don't usually see an explicit Boolean check like that. But yeah, in this case, if it is true, then copy. Or I could make this a bit more readable, I guess. Bool has component equals component checklist at I. Then switch, and just say if has component, or has component T, let's say. Yeah, I still don't get why it's giving me an error there, but okay, we'll break and do the rest. So we got rect transform and rect renderer. In fact, I can just do this. Rect texture renderer. Okay, so what's going on here? No, fuck that actually, it should be here. If has component T, then continue. So that simplifies this a bit. Yeah, I thought that was like weirdly redundant. Okay, no matching function call. Yeah, what do you mean no function? What does it mean? How is it not a matching function call? I don't understand that. Is other dot get component? Is it because I'm dereferencing it? Is this dereferencing other? Is that why? No, but like this should deref. I'm very confused by that. Let me build and see what happens. And I should also define, I should also overload equals, right? If this equals other, return this. Okay. Multiple definition of enum class component type. Okay, probably missing pragma or something. Passing constant budget as this argument discards qualifiers. Right. What qualifiers? I don't see any like const or anything. Is it because of this? Must be. Well, fine then. Just take it by reference. And let me also go to take me to this file. Control boom. Add a pragma once. Let's fix that issue. And let's try building again. Let's not get copyrighted for that. Passing const game object. Okay. Must be because of this. Fuck me. Can I? There you go. Okay. So the issue is that this is const. Yeah. Because, fuck me. Because get component isn't const. That's literally just it. That's the reason. Which is stupid. Like, I need to manually define basically a const version, which is really annoying. But what can you do? So let's go ahead and copy this entire function and literally just make it const. Like, now it's a const. Const here, I think. Yeah. And that Loki fixes it. And then I made this not be const, but it should be const. God knows I might cause some other issues, but let's build, see what happens. Okay, so it implicitly declared a operator as well. So I just need to make that explicit here. So what's it? It's so it returns a reference. So auto operator equals same thing as before, game object reference to other, returning a game object reference. Do a check. I mean, the check doesn't really matter. Well, no, actually, does it matter? It does matter. Yeah, it does matter. If this equals other, yep, it's a pointer, then return this. Otherwise, return this. You know, I'm starting to feel like that doesn't make much sense. All right, release existing resources. Right, so what resources need to be released? It's a copy. So if I'm copying itself, yeah, I don't know. Also, the handle needs to like low-key do its thing. Hold on. Do I even have a copy? Do I even have a copy constructor? I do. So then, tell me what engine does. Return a game objects with this and last entity index. Yeah. Like, okay, one option actually is to have a copy game object instead. But I feel like doing it from the game object is more of a more whatever. So let's do this instead. Let's have, because like I can't say this equals this, right? Like I can't do that. Like is it yeah, so I think I need a new function for game engine. Wait, so there's create game object. Let's have register game object as well. And this returns an index. U32 index. Yeah. So U32, and it will return last entity index plus plus. That's it. Okay. And then that means I can go back to, what's it called again? Component game object. That's what I was editing. I should really start like hooking these probably. Yeah. Okay. So what this should do here, first of all, is get the index, right? Can I call like another constructor? Can I do that? I'm not sure I can. So we'll say handle.index equals index. Yeah, so handle.index equals other.engine, or I guess I can use engine in this case because it's already been initialized. Engine dot register okay, it's a pointer. Yeah, that's important because then it becomes a distinct object, and then I can do the other stuff. Okay, that's step one. Then for step two, with this, no, this is assignment. Assignment's different. For assignment, I'm not creating a new entity. I'm just stealing its stuff. which also means it needs to like override my components in some cases. In fact, it needs to override all of them, literally. I could like quietly just create a new game object, right? And then like return that reference. I know I can't do that because then it'd be a dangling reference. Fuck, man. I thought that was my package. It was just Domino's pizza. Yeah, so I need to have removing as well. Okay, let me just do this. To do hold on. If they're the same, does it matter? If they're the same, return this. Yeah. Otherwise, modify itself. Yeah. So to do remove existing components and copy others components. Basically, that's what needs to happen. So let's just build and pretend I did that. Okay. So I mean, it's not going to be different from before, I don't think. Why does it do that thing? I know why actually. It's because it sets the profile to debug and then it runs it. No, well, yeah, no, but like it compiles first, so it kind of has to do that. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, segmentation fault. Right, so now the issue is that not here. The issue is that where is it? Yeah, here. This app template thing is the app, and it has a copy constructor, I think. Yeah, but the games are getting like merged, so because the handles are the same. So first of all, this mplays back is fine. I think this is the issue, the app preview. So let me disable that first. The app preview thing, and pray that it will compile anyway. I'm not gonna be warnings like this is unused. You know, I like the part where it showed me the error. That was really cool. Do I need to like do like this debug thing every single time I compile? I feel like it's a bit excessive. I don't, right? If I change my build script and remove this line and then builds, that's way faster. Oh fuck me, dude. Right. Unused parameter. Is this pedantic or what? I don't know. Yeah, not great for debugging. Honestly, those kind of errors. You're annoying. Okay. Between these, which is not suitable for debug builds. Okay. So for W error, let's delete that and have it here instead. Okay. No, that's our debug. Fuck. I'll just move it for now. God damn, there's so much to remember for when using C++. Like genuinely. Like there's so much you need to do. Okay, building again. Is that a knock? Can't tell. There's a warning. Okay. Nice. So if I run, I still get a segmentation fault. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, whatever. I'm gonna come back to this later and debug it because it's already now 2:45. So I best be going. But yeah, anyway, yeah, okay, very interesting, very interesting. Yeah, no one said making a game engine would be easy. Yeah. Yeah, so I need to sort out this copy constructor thing. I'm also kind of just like winging the actual design as well. Because like if you've used like a game engine before, you know, like they'll have some like kind of system in place. Like Unity has like it has a component system too, like you add the components, but I believe you can't copy them or something like that, or like something along those lines. Whereas I'm just kind of like going with the flow and deciding on what I add depending on what I want and what I feel like would be good. But that also means a lot of changes have to be made constantly, and that can be quite, especially with C++, that can be quite a bit of what's the word? Like redundant. What's the word? Tedious. Yeah, tedious work. So yeah. But yeah, either way, it's fun. I'll continue this later. Subscribe for more developments on FreeWare. Yeah. Also, I might do a lot more offline as well, like without recording, but we'll see. Really, it just depends if I happen to be able to sit on my computer and record. If I can't, then I won't. If I can, I will. But either way, progress will be made.